comics left for you guys. I'm so excited to bring up your next comic, one of my good buddies. He's moving to New York like an asshole, but I am very excited for him. He's going to kill out there because he's been killing here for a while. Tours all over the country. Start clapping right now for Tyler Horvath, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Give it up for Joe one more time, man. Give it up for him.
That's right.
Thank you, man. It's good to be here. Is everybody doing good still? Everybody good? Hell yeah. It's good to be here. I hope you've had a good year. I've had a good year. I moved in with my girlfriend this year, which is exciting. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. It's good. It changes some things, you know. Some things change. Some things go away. Like showering together, that goes away. When you're dating, that's fun. You're like, get in here. When you live together, you're like, don't. I could really use this time, you know, alone. Without you specifically, actually. My girlfriend was in the shop the other day. I was like, hey, real quick, I'm just going to jump in, rinse off. She was not having it. I've never heard this voice from her before. She was like, if you get in here. She sounded like Liam Neeson. I was like, if you get in here, I'm going to burn this house down. I was like, this is great. This is communication. You know, I'm sensing I need some space. It's not like having sex in a shower is hot anyway. I've never been having sex in a bed and thought, you know what would make this better? If one of us was freezing and the other one was drowning. That'd be great. I love living with my girlfriend, though. She's out of my league. I'm not down on myself, but I think I look okay. But she's a very beautiful woman, and if you saw my girlfriend and you tried to picture in your mind's eye like the guy that she is with, if you tried to summon that guy's face into your brain, that guy would have a chin. And I don't. I'd really love to, but I don't. She's out of my league in a lot of ways. She makes a lot of money. She went to an Ivy League school. She says stuff all the time that I can't relate to. Recently, she was like, next week, my sisters and I are going to the opera. I was like, I've never been to the opera. She goes, I'll tell you all about it. All right, cool. You have fun. You guys have fun. It's great. I don't blame her, though. When she met me, I was a guy in my 20s with a bunch of roommates. We were a mess. You know, we had a trash pile in the kitchen. It was a horrific apartment that she came over to all the time. I had one roommate at that time, the worst one out of all of us. He was the messiest guy, never cleaned up after himself, but he had the nerve somehow one day to come up to me. He's like, dude, I'm thinking about getting a cat. I was like, you're getting a what? He's like, dude, I clean up after you. You eat my food. You're my cat. Okay, what? What are you talking about, Whiskers? If you're bored, I'll get you like a laser pointer or something. And he had an interesting point, actually. He was like, and I was all right, cool. This is good to be here. This is one of my last shows before going to New York. I am moving to New York City, which is easy. Logistically, financially, no notes. Greatest city in the world, baby. Not a great world, it turns out. I went there, I was looking for places to stay. I just saw this guy just randomly get kicked in the chest on the side. Just like a front kick to the chest. He stumbled back. He was like, oh, I'm a firefighter. I was like, well, that's not why he shouldn't kick you in the chest, man. It's a wild place, but, you know, I don't know, man. I've been traveling the country a lot. It's weird traveling the country now because every city, like I've been traveling a lot of cities around the Midwest and everything. Everywhere is just trying to bounce back, and it's not happening. Everywhere has been, like, deindustrialized and, like, then COVID after that, and everyone's just trying to bounce back. They're facing these big, broad economic trends, these macroeconomic forces, and they're like, what if we start a brewery? It's all these big, giant brick buildings that used to be like centers of industry that, you know, like employed hundreds of men and entire communities they sustain. And now they're just like, well, we have a local IPA. I don't know. Like, For every hazy IPA that you're probably drinking now, there's 100 men that are growing old without a pension. That's what I'm saying. I'm sort of a hopeful comedian. But I don't know. I've enjoyed my time here in Chicago, though. When I first got here, I worked in downtown, which was exciting. I thought that was very romantic, you know. I loved the Chicago skyline. I was like, I'm going to be a part of it, you know. Now I look back, I'm like, what did I think was happening in those buildings? I'd be inside those buildings all day looking out, seeing tourists looking up, taking pictures. I'd be tapping on the inside of the glass like, guys, zoom in. This building is full of people that can't remember joy. Okay, we're just... If you go outside tonight, you catch a glimpse of the skyline lit up at night. It's beautiful, right? Just enjoy it, but just know that every one of those lights, that's someone eating a lean cuisine. Okay, just... If it's really late and you see those skyline lit up, every one of those lights, that's someone that's like missing their children grow up. So that they can defend an oil company from poisoning a river that they definitely did poison. I don't know. That's hilarious to me. I do give it up for this space one more time. The Humboldt Jungle. Yeah, man. You guys think you're so fucking cool for knowing about this, huh? Every one of you that's on a date, it's like, are you guys on a date? Are you guys together or first date? You been together? Oh, if it was a first date, I would have been like, he's done this 3 or 4 times. Like, let me show you the coolest thing in the city. It's in a basement. The first time, she's absolutely terrified. She's like, okay. I like to kind of grind to a screeching halt in the middle of my set all the time. I don't know, man. Clap it up if you're in a relationship, though. If you're in a long term, yeah, you got, yeah. I've been living with my girlfriend for a while now, and I love it so much. It's great. We've been together so long, I don't know how to act around other women anymore. Like, this woman came up to me after a show the other day, probably not even flirting, just being nice. She's like, that was a great show. By the way, how long have you lived in Chicago? I was like, I panicked, you know. So I pepper sprayed her. You know, I was like, get away from me, all right? I got too much to lose, okay? I can't go back to living with that cat. So we're in an interracial relationship, which I'm usually against, but that was a test, and yeah, you have to like me a lot more than you did already for that to work. Again, screeching halt. Very good. My girlfriend is Asian American. She's Chinese and Vietnamese American, and it's great because she's exploring that part of her like cultural background and sharing that with me. But it's tough because I've got nothing to give her in return. She's showing me amazing food. She's like, "Have you tried dim sum or banh mi?" I'm like, "Have you tried meatloaf?" It's pretty good. It's a loaf of meat. We glaze it with ketchup, so it's tough. We're at her family's place. She's like, this is my grandmother's jade necklace. It's been passed down for generations. We're at my family's place. I'm like, this is my dad's Dan Marino jersey. It's pretty cool. He almost got it signed once, so keeps us in touch with Dan Marino. So I don't know. I don't know. We're thinking about having kids. Anybody have kids here? Anybody thinking about it? Yeah, you guys have kids? Nobody else. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. What are you pointing to her for?
That's my mom.
Oh, hey, good. That's awesome. You got a cool mom. Comes to a cool place. What's that? What'd you say?
Yeah. It's Joe's mom.
Oh, that's Joe's mom? Aren't you proud of your boy? I don't know what to do with that. By the way, I'm not him. We're different people. We look exactly the same, but we are different people. case you get confused, Mom. I'm thinking about having. My parents want me to have kids. That's the biggest thing that they want in the world. But they're putting me under all this pressure to have kids, and I'm not ready. And it's weird to me that the pressure is coming from my parents, because like they're the ones that warned me about peer pressure back in the day. And this is way more pressure with way higher stakes. They sound like drug addicts now, trying to get me to have kids. I'm like, what's it like? They're like, you've never felt anything like it, man. You think you know what happiness is? You have no idea. I'm like, I just don't know if I'm ready. They're like, you'll never really be ready. You just gotta take the ride, man. I'm like, my friend told me that about ketamine last week, so don't know. I don't know. I want to have kids. My kids are going to be Asian. That's crazy. I'm worried about it. Not as worried as you are right now about what I'm going to say. I'm worried because they're going to have racism happen to them in the world, and I'm worried that I'm not going to know how to be there for them in those moments, you know? Like, they're going to come to me with some racist shit that happens to them on a playground or something. I'm worried that I'm going to get white and weird about it. And, like, I'm going to be like, that is terrible, and I had nothing to do with it. They're like, Dad, we're not accusing you of anything. I'm like, well, good, because I was at work, okay? I couldn't have... I do want to have kids. I'd like to have a baby. Babies are very easy to make laugh. This is hard with adults. You all like different things. I'm trying to figure it out on the fly. Imagine if I just jingled some keys. You guys are like, that guy's a fucking genius. I put them behind my back. You're like, where the hell did they go? I'm trying to feel better this year. I'm trying to be more mentally, physically, all that healthy. It's so annoying about that process, because it's always either something that's incredibly obvious or something kooky and weird, that, you know, something that you found on the internet. Like, I thought for a long time, this is embarrassing, but I really thought for a long time I was anxious and depressed because I had some deep, dark thing inside me that had to come out. I went to the doctor. They're like, we think you're thirsty. You're incredibly dehydrated. We've never seen numbers like this. See, there's something very obvious like that, or like you try something weird. Like my girlfriend and I right now, we're trying that thing where you tape your mouth shut at night to go to sleep. Have you heard of that? Few people have. Everyone else is terrified right now. If you know, it's apparently it's better for you to breathe through your nose in general, but especially throughout the night. So you tape your mouth shut throughout the night, so you have to breathe through your nose, right? So we're trying this, but now we're just laying there with our mouths taped shut. Like we're laying on train tracks. I just keep thinking if someone breaks into our house, like they're gonna be worried, you know, like they're gonna be like, I think somebody got this place already. I did start therapy though this year. That's my biggest, yeah, thank you, ladies. Yeah, not a lot of men in therapy. Interesting. Men are historically fine. Yeah. Keep white knuckling it, boys. You probably won't definitely hurt everyone in your life. I love therapy. First thing my therapist told me, she's like, you know what you need to work on before anything else is your internal dialogue, right? The way you talk to yourself inside your own head, it's chaos. You need some discipline, right? So now she's giving me all these tools, all this training. Now I talk to myself inside my own head the way like an NBA athlete talks to the media. Like at the press conference after the game. My brain's throwing out questions like, that didn't go as planned. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm like, well, it wasn't our night. But we're a resilient group. We're going to bounce back. And I have anxiety is like a tabloid journalist in the back. Like, some people are saying you might be the worst person ever. I'm like, well, people are entitled to their opinions. We don't focus on that. We focus on what we can control. And sometimes my brain shows me something I'm not ready for. You know, it's like, you know, you've never really thought about it. You might be gay. I'm like, well, no further questions. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Keep it going for my brother Tyler Horvath, everybody. So funny. And keep it going for my mom. Yeah. Last time my mom was here, I pointed her out at the beginning of the show, and then all the comics proceeded to loop her in on their most disgusting jokes. So I kept that secret until the last time. But no, she's here, and she's the best. So one more time for my mom, and one more time for Tyler Horvath.